Okay, so without further ado, tonight's presentation, let's get it started. Let's get it on the road, I was going to say. If you want something you've never had, you've got to do something you've never done. And I know I say this every week, but honestly, it's the most profound statement you could ever make when you think about succeeding, because as a person, as a human being, if you want success, you have to become a person of success. You can't just go and chase it. You have to become that person, and it will come to you. Hence the law of attraction, or the law of focus, or the law of expectation, whatever you want to call it. You have to be that person. And that's what this business is about. It's about evolving, becoming a better person. And that's what's going to attract the success to you. Now, let's start with this question: can money buy happiness? Well, obviously, it's an absurd question, because you can't physically buy something like that. It's intangible. You can't go into a shop and buy happiness. But the point of it is that, can it make you happy? Some would argue no, some would argue yes. The truth is, if you're in debt, or if you're struggling, or if you're not making enough money, yes, of course, it's going to get you some happiness, because it's going to get rid of all the misery and despair. So there has been some research done on this, and the question is, how much do you need to become happy? Well, you'd be surprised. It's not that much. It's not 50,000 or 100,000. I'm going to give you an example. Let's go through how the income works in the UK, for instance. So we're in the UK, the average income is around £2,000 a month. But obviously, most of that goes into expenses, things like your mortgage, your rent, your car costs, your bills, shopping and cards and other things, yeah? And only 10% of it, which is what's left over, is classed as disposable income. So this is money that you spend going out and entertaining yourself and having a great time. So it's £200 a month, which, when you think about it, it's not a lot really. It's £50 a week. This is what you spend on going to the movies, dining out, and even going on holidays, believe it or not. Which, when you think about it, it's not that much, you know. And that's probably why so many people rely on credit cards, and more often than not end up getting in debt. But what if we could do something about that? What if we could change that 10%? Well, let's look at it this way. Let's say you were to increase it by a further 10%. How much of a difference would that make? Well, you've pretty much doubled your lifestyle, really, when you think about it, because that's the money that you're spending on yourself anyway. It's not like you're going to go pay more for your utilities or your mortgage. You're just going to spend it yourself, unless you've got debt, in which case, then you could clear your debt. So what would it be like if you had maybe £500 a month coming in, or even an extra £1,000 a month? Do you know what? For most people, even in the UK, that is life-changing. Seriously, it's life-changing, because it's all disposable income. Think about the kind of car you might end up driving, or even the house you could buy, because you could get a better house, really, when you think about it. And, you know, the sort of holidays you go away on. And you know what? That's what people really, really want. They just want better lifestyle. They just want a better quality of life without worrying about debt. And that study really found that 92% of people would be more than happy with just an extra £200 to £1,000 a month. It's not a lot, really, when you think about it, for the UK. The trouble is, nobody really knows how to go about it. Well, that's where we come in, BizzTrek. We have an opportunity, which is very simple, down to earth, where you can earn potentially €5,000 in cash. I know we've gone to euros, but it's a European company. At least €1,000 a month passive income, and qualify for a €300 a month car bonus for a car of your choice, without selling, all within 90 days. And here's the best part: for just €20 a month. That's the business opportunity. That's the basics in a nutshell. €20 a month, and you can get all that. Sounds too good to be true? Of course it does. But let me explain how it works, and then you'll understand. So, is it difficult? Well, not really. It's fairly simple, straightforward. In fact, I would consider this probably the smartest business opportunity you'll ever come across. And that's not just one reason, but 5 reasons for that. So let's look at these 5 reasons then. Well, first of all, it's only €20 a month. Show me a business opportunity that's that much. It's £18 or $25. It's not a lot, really, considering what's out there in terms of business opportunities. But here's the great news. You even get a €20 voucher every month you pay your subscription, which you can use in our Prime store, which I'm going to come to. The second reason is then our service or our product. It pretty much sells itself, to be honest with you. There's a saying, if you have a product that is worth more to the customer than what it costs them, you won't need to sell it. They'll be more than happy to buy it from you. And that's what we do. We have a product that has more value to the customer, so we don't have to sell it. They're more than willing to buy it from us. We help customers save money and we help businesses make money. And that's about as simple as it gets. And we do this in a number of ways. One of the ways is, as I mentioned, this Prime store, which is due to open at the end of this month. So beginning of next month, we will have our very own Prime store. It's a bit like Amazon, obviously not as big, I wish, but the idea is similar, except we don't charge the sort of prices and commissions they charge, nowhere near. And the idea is that customers will be able to buy there cheaper and businesses will be able to sell there cheaper. And customers can save up to 70% using our Prime store. And the way they do that is by redeeming those vouchers. Now, there's a bit more to this, obviously, than what I've just explained. And you might be thinking, how on earth can the company make money? But once you understand the basics behind it, it will make sense. But I'm not going to go into do too much detail on that tonight because this is just an overview. The other thing is that businesses can actually promote their own business using our customizable website. Now, they might already have a website, and that's fine. They can use ours to do more marketing for themselves. In other words, they can run unlimited advertising campaigns to other customers. They get feedback ratings and even reviews. So that's going to bring more traffic to their business. And customers have additional benefits as well. We will have our very own Visa cashback card coming next month, where customers can get up to 5% cashback in the UK in over 50 stores. And these are the stores that we have. So we've got things like Asda, Marks & Spencer, Sainsbury's, and Waitrose. I will say that Asda would only do 2.5% and Sainsbury's only do 3%, which, you know, is understandable because they're supermarkets. But when you compare it to what's out there, it's much better. And everyone else does 5%. Now, there are other cards, I know there's loyalty cards like Nectar and club cards and stuff like that, and Boots have their own card, but they're only 0.5% on average. And so ours is 10 times better. And you can use them all in all the different stores. And you can still use your Nectar and your club card if you still want with ours. So it's a win-win for customers. I personally believe this thing alone is worth the €20, more than worth the €20, because there are people who spend thousands, you know, on shopping. Forget these supermarkets. There's people go to B&Q and all these DIY centers, and obviously clothing. When you add it all up, it actually comes to quite a lot. Then we also have our global BizzTrek MasterCard, which is where your commissions get paid. Now, for people in the UK and America, it's not a big deal, maybe, because most people have cards. But in countries like Pakistan and other countries, having a MasterCard is a status symbol. So for people in those countries, it is quite a big product, and it's very popular. And that's why the business is growing so well in countries like Pakistan, Africa, and even Kurdistan. It's doing extremely well over there. And then finally, customers also have another benefit where in the UK, they can save money on the energy bill. So we have our very own comparison site where customers can do a comparison, and save money. And there's also the opportunity where they get entered into a free prize draw and they can win a year's worth of free energy. And then finally, we've got other products and services coming, which I believe is going to be next month: car insurance, home insurance. So we'll have a whole list of services that you'll be able to compare and save money on. So to summarize, what do you get for your €20 then? Well, first of all, as I mentioned, you get the access to the Prime store where you can save money, and obviously you can also use the voucher, the monthly voucher. You've also got the 5% cashback card, or up to 5% Visa card. You can also save on the energy. There's also the BizzTrek MasterCard, and obviously with businesses, they can run unlimited advertising campaigns. But probably the one that attracts most people is the actual business opportunity where you can earn a passive income. So going back to that point about the product being worth more than what the customer cost them, what it costs the customer, sorry, we're aiming to help people get at least 2 to 5 times back the value of what they're paying. So if they're paying 20 euros, they're going to get something like 40 to 100 euros back. Hell, you know what? Even if they just get the 20 euros back, it's worth it, because there's more to it than just the product. There's obviously the business opportunity. And that's the third reason, the income plan, how much you can actually make. Now, we use something called a cascading dynamic matrix, and it's based on a 3x10 matrix, but it's much, much more than that. It's a 3x10 matrix in steroids, let's just say. Okay. Performance enhancement steroids. Basically, what a 3x10 matrix is it means you can only have 3 people directly underneath you. And then obviously those 3 can only have 3 each. So you've got 9 on your second level. Those 9 can only have 3 each. So that's 27 on your third level. And I think you can figure it out where it goes after that. Every level increases by a factor of 3. So if you work it all the way down 10 levels, you would end up with a total of 88,000 people in your team. Theoretically, it never happens, to be honest with you. But it's a great idea. It's a great concept. However, being very realistic, 88,000, I'd say, what if you only did 10% of that? And it took you a year. That's 8,800, okay? That's still a substantial amount. Well, you get paid €1 per person per month, okay? And when you add that up, it's a lot. It's 8,800 euros. Now, it is a very slowly but surely growing business. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but the difference is it does grow, and it grows consistently. Whereas a lot of these businesses, you see, they'll grow quickly and they'll drop again. This is consistent, it's growing, and it's brilliant, because we're only in the first, we're almost finishing in the 3rd month. And you know what? There's a lot of people already doing great with this business, but you can actually earn beyond the 10 levels. Let me explain how that works. We have this thing called the autofill feature. And what that means is that if you personally introduce 3 people yourself, let's say Bob, Sam, and Jane, anybody else you introduce would have to then fall into your 2nd level. So they have to go under Bob, Sam, and Jane. So in this example, one would go under Bob and the other one would go under Sam, because it spreads it evenly, and that's the fairest way. And this is called spillover. So Bob and Sam now have actually benefited from your efforts. They're going to earn on somebody that's joined the business through you. And that's great for people like Bob and Sam. That usually gets people motivated, and obviously bringing in other people. If Bob starts to bring people in, when he fills his 1st level, he has to spill over onto his 2nd level. So his people on his 1st level are now benefiting. So it's quite a profound concept, because you definitely get that sort of spillover once you start building a team. And obviously, as the team starts to grow, and this is an example based on the 1st week, this is actually what happened. Well, more than this, I'm just giving you this one specific example here. So if you've got other people joining, then they're going to fall under Jane and Sam, because obviously those are the ones that are the weaker legs. But in this example, then Sam starts to build her team. Anybody else would then spill under Jane. And of course, Bob and Sam could also add spillover. So as I said, this is based on the 1st week's example, and it went beyond this. It went down 18 levels within the 1st week. So the fact that you can actually earn beyond 10 levels is a huge, huge difference. Because in a normal static 3x10, you get paid down levels to 10 levels and then it stops. Ours doesn't work on levels. It works on generations, and there's a big, big difference to that. You can actually end up earning 40, 50, 60, even 100 levels down. Okay? But obviously, I'm not going to get time to explain all that. However, to qualify to earn down those generations, you've got to do 2 things. One is that you've got to be paying your monthly subscription, which stands to reason. You're paying your 20 euros a month, fine, you're active. Secondly, you have to have introduced somebody to the business to earn down each generation. So if you've only introduced 1 person, you earn down 1 generation. 2, down 2, 3, 4 generations, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ultimately, if you've introduced 10 people, you're earning the maximum 10 generations. But let's forget the 10 generations. Let's go to real basics. Let's simplify this. Let's say you only introduce 5 people, and forget 10 generations, okay, on 10 people. Let's just say 5 people, 5 generations. So you've introduced 5 yourself, okay, that's 5 on your 1st generation. They introduce 5 each, that's 25 on your 2nd generation. They introduce 5 each, that's 125. They introduce 5 each, and they introduce 5 each. So you've got 5 generations of people with a total of 3,900 people. You earn €1 a month, so that's a total of 3,900 euros a month, passive residual income. Like I said to you guys, it's a slow but consistent growing business. It might not happen overnight. It might take weeks. It might take months. It certainly will take months, okay? But it's not an unreasonable amount. And once you've got that momentum, once you've got a little bit of growth, things do happen. What we're finding is once you've got to 100 people, you've got that perpetual growth. It's growing on average anything between 1 to 3% a day. You can do the maths, okay? Well, I'll give you an example. If you only had 100 people and it was only growing by 1% a day, in 1 year, you'd end up with 3,700 anyway. That's just at 1%. So it is happening, and we're only in pre-launch yet, and we still haven't used the video marketing system, which I'm going to come back to. The fourth reason then is the car plan. Now, the car plan is based on a recognition plan that we have, but I'm not going to go through it all. There are 3 different leadership ranks: leaders, managers, and directors, and each one has 3 categories: business, senior, executives. And when you get to director, that's when you can become car qualified, but we've already got leaders and we've got managers, okay? So when you get to the first position, business director, that's when you become car qualified, where you can get €300 a month towards a car of your choice. You should be earning at least €1,000 a month by then anyway. But here's the great news. If you do it within 90 days, you can earn an additional €5,000 bonus. However, this is only available this month. It finishes this month, this offer. And of course, you qualify for the car. And guess what? We've got some fantastic news. Somebody's actually done it already. This young man, Azad Mohammed, who joined on the very first day, joined the business, came to the office quite regularly and took a lot of information, but didn't actually do anything until Christmas time. He went across to Kurdistan. He's actually a British national, but he went back to Kurdistan, which is where he's from, and he started recruiting people. He brought in a lot of people, and he is officially the first business director in the world. So congratulations, Azad. Well done, my friend. And well done from everyone in BizzTrek. But I'll be honest with you, he wouldn't have been able to do it without his best friend, Chia Tawfiq, who he recruited in Kurdistan, and who's also an executive manager. So he's only one step down from Azad. So he's only got to get that next level. But he has over 500 people in his team. Azad, I believe, has about 1,150 now. And that just gives you an idea of how fast this business is growing. And you think Kurdistan, of all places, but you know something, there's some amazing people out there in countries we'd never imagined this business going into. I personally believe that people in other countries have a better work ethic than people in Western countries, because in the West, you've pretty much got everything. And, you know, people live hand to mouth. They just have everything available. Whereas other countries like India, Pakistan, you know, Africa, people are prepared to put the work and time and effort in, and they've got much better success mentality. They're very entrepreneurial. So well done, guys. Okay, so the final reason is the video marketing system. Now, I'm going to show you a video that we've just produced, and this is the first part of the video marketing system. The idea is this is going to do most of the business for you, or most of the work for you. Now, traditionally, what you would do is you would try and explain this business to somebody or send them a full video, and most people don't want to watch a 15, 20-minute video. It's too much information. But if you could send them a short teaser video, maybe about a minute long, that should get people interested. So I'm going to show you this video now.
Are you fed up of wasting time, money, and effort on opportunities that don't pay? Well, you're not alone, because there are thousands of others like you looking for a genuine opportunity that is affordable and pays regularly. And that's why we created BizzTrek, a simple, down-to-earth business that doesn't even need selling, and it's so easy to join. Our low monthly fee makes it affordable to everyone, which is why we've spread into other countries so quickly. So if you've got the right qualities to succeed but haven't found the right company, then why not join us? We're a European company with one of the fastest paying plans on the market, and we're looking for honest and trustworthy people just like you. So if you'd like to know how you can earn 5,000 euros in cash, a regular passive income of at least 1,000 euros a month, and qualify for a 300 euros a month car bonus, all within 90 days, then watch our main presentation video to find out more. Because BizzTrek was designed for people just like you.
So it's about a minute long, okay? It covers all the key points. Very simple, straightforward. You send that video out to enough people, some of them are going to watch it and think, you know what, sounds like an interesting concept. Let me watch the full 15-minute presentation. Whereas if you sent the 15-minute presentation, they might not have been interested. Now that's just one example of a teaser video. We're going to do several others targeting different types of people. That one was obviously aimed at people who are already in the network marketing business. Okay, there are going to be some that are aimed at young people, students. There are going to be some that are aimed at people just wanting to make an extra income that are not network marketing orientated. And I've already written scripts for these. So once this thing is up and running, the automated marketing system, it's going to do 90% of your work. You won't have to explain things to people. It makes the business so much easier. By the way, the reason, or one of the reasons why Azad did so well in Kurdistan is he used our 3-minute video, which we've got, which is quite long, I'll be honest with you. He used our 3-minute video and converted it into his own language and got people watching that, and they signed up on the strength of that. Now, obviously, if we do this in other languages, that's going to be phenomenal. And he's already talking about getting it done in Arabic for the Arab countries. And it's not difficult. What all we need to do is just get the voiceover done, and obviously the text. And because you saw it's only a minute, it's not too much effort. So if you guys have got somebody who can do that sort of thing, let us know. You know, we can work with you, and you know, you can open it up into other countries. I do know that we can do it in Spanish because that's a huge market, and the Americans want it for Mexico and places like that. So South America is going to be huge. Okay, guys? Right, okay, so we're nearly coming to the end of this presentation. So how do you start? Well, there's two choices. You can join by paying the monthly fee. And as I said, we're in the pre-launch stage, so it's going to be 20 euros a month. But when we launch officially, we're actually going to put the price up to 25 euros. But we're not doing it end of this month. We're doing it end of next month. So it's going to be the 1st of April. And no, that's not an April Fool's joke. That's true. It's going to be 25 euros a month. But if you join before then, it'll always be 20 euros. So, you know, now is the time to join. So you're saving 5 euros a month. And of course, you're getting the 20 euro voucher as well. However, if you join on an annual basis, you're paying 240 euros, which means you're saving 60 euros a year, but you get 240 euros worth of vouchers up front. However, there's also the opportunity to get your money back. And this is how it works. Every member that joins as a gold member, which is the annual subscription, gets entered into a pool of 10 members. And then one lucky member is randomly picked and given a 240 euro reward. So in effect, he's getting his money back. The person who signed them up also has to be a gold member, will get a 120 euro award as well. So he gets half his money back. But the great news is that the sponsor can get this as many times. So if he's signed 4 people and he's got 4 people that have actually won it, he's getting 120 4 times. And this is the incentive for February. So that's the end of the presentation.